from A-list fame to a pile of dirt, in just one night. The world's biggest celebrity just lost everything. Now he's starting from the absolute bottom to find his true soul. This isn't a comeback. This is a rebirth.
Welcome to Vital Life Stories. Today we explore the profound journey of a fallen star who lost everything to find himself. The flashing cameras and screaming fans created a powerful illusion of greatness. He truly believed he was completely untouchable and absolutely invincible. His massive mansion hosted extravagant parties every single night. The superficial lifestyle blinded him to the genuine realities of normal human existence. Wealth flowed like water, and his ego expanded beyond measure. He treated ordinary working people as mere stepping stones for his success. But the glittering facade cracked overnight. A devastating scandal broke out, instantly shattering his carefully constructed public image into a million pieces. Sitting alone in the dark, he watched his entire empire crumble. The applause was quickly replaced by millions of harsh, unforgiving judgments. The very media that once elevated him now ruthlessly hunted him down. Every single mistake was magnified and broadcasted to the world. Legal battles drained his massive fortune almost instantly. His expensive lawyers packed their bags when the bank accounts finally hit absolute zero. The repossession agents arrived without any mercy. They stripped away his luxurious furniture, expensive art, and every physical symbol of his success. Watching his prized sports car being towed away in the cold rain, he finally realized the absolute severity of his terrifying situation. Desperate for help, he called his closest industry friends. Unsurprisingly, those fair-weather companions completely ignored his desperate pleas for financial assistance. Doors that once opened magically for him were now firmly locked shut. The entertainment industry had completely erased him from its memory. Stripped of his glamorous titles and massive wealth, he walked into the dark night carrying only a small suitcase of basic clothes. He rented a terribly cheap motel room on the edge of town. The flickering neon light highlighted his complete and utter ruin. Staring into the cracked bathroom mirror, he faced the naked reality. The artificial mask was gone, leaving only a deeply broken man. His wallet contained nothing but a few useless copper coins. The terrifying fear of actual starvation slowly crept into his anxious mind. The psychological collapse was incredibly painful. He cried silently in the dark room, mourning the sudden death of his massive artificial ego. But hunger is a powerful motivator. When the morning sun finally pierced the dirty window, he knew he had to survive. Somehow. He walked into a small local diner wearing a plain gray hoodie. He kept his head down to avoid any unwanted recognition. Swallowing his remaining pride, he begged the gruff manager for any available job. He was immediately handed a very dirty white apron. He stood before a massive mountain of incredibly greasy dishes. The intense heat of the kitchen felt like a literal burning hell. His soft, perfectly manicured hands plunged into the filthy water. Scrubbing the burnt metal pans destroyed his delicate skin within several minutes. The angry manager yelled at him for being incredibly slow. Instead of arguing back, he simply bit his lip and worked faster. Sitting on a plastic crate in the dark alleyway, his entire body ached terribly. Physical exhaustion completely overwhelmed his racing, anxious thoughts. He received a few crumpled bills for his difficult labor. He stared at the small amount of cash with profound, genuine gratitude. He purchased a basic sandwich and a small bottle of water. This simple meal felt like the greatest feast he ever tasted. Eating quietly on a lonely park bench under a street lamp, he finally experienced a strange sense of absolute peace and inner clarity. He actively sought out more difficult manual labor jobs. Sweeping dusty warehouse floors taught him the vital importance of basic human humility. Carrying incredibly heavy boxes of fresh produce at the morning market strengthened his physical body and slowly repaired his damaged psychological state. Mixing heavy cement under the brutal midday sun was pure torture. Yet every single drop of sweat washed away his previous arrogance. His hands completely transformed from soft and manicured to rough and calloused. These new scars became his proudest badges of absolute honor. He willingly helped an elderly coworker lift a heavy steel beam. For the first time, he genuinely cared about another human being. During the short lunch break, he sat with ordinary workers. Their simple jokes brought him more genuine joy than any Hollywood party. A speeding luxury car splashed dirty water onto his heavy work boots. He simply smiled, realizing he used to drive that vehicle. He watched the expensive vehicle disappear down the busy street without any envy. Material wealth no longer held any power over him. Walking home through the gritty industrial neighborhood at sunset, he felt a profound connection to the beautiful struggles of ordinary working people. His tiny apartment was extremely minimalist, but perfectly clean and highly organized. He learned to deeply appreciate the simple necessities of life. Instead of attending glamorous events, he spent his quiet evenings reading deep philosophical books. Education became his newly chosen path to redemption. Working as a humble street sweeper in the busy city park, he found incredible beauty in the gently falling golden autumn leaves. He carefully picked up a dropped teddy bear from the dirt, dusted it off completely, and kindly handed it to a child. The grateful mother thanked him with a very warm and genuine smile. His polite response was entirely authentic and completely without ego. Suddenly, a passing teenager recognized his familiar face from the past. The young man quickly pulled out a smartphone to record him. He noticed the intrusive camera immediately. Instead of hiding his face in absolute shame, he simply nodded peacefully and continued sweeping leaves. The short video quickly went viral across multiple social media platforms. Millions of shocked users watched the former star performing manual labor. Television news anchors aggressively debated his dramatic fall from grace. They constantly compared his glamorous past with his current, humble reality. A slick Hollywood talent agent watched the trending news broadcast carefully. He immediately smelled the highly profitable opportunity and dialed his phone. The wealthy agent tracked him down at the busy city park. He approached the sweating actor with a perfectly practiced fake smile. He excitedly offered a massive reality television comeback contract. The agent promised instant wealth and totally restored fame within a few months. The glossy contract displayed incredibly huge financial numbers. The actor stared at the tempting document, then slowly examined his rough, calloused hands. He gently pushed the lucrative contract away without any hesitation. He offered a polite but incredibly firm rejection to the stunned agent. The greedy agent waved his arms in absolute disbelief and intense anger. The peaceful actor simply turned back to his daily sweeping. Pushing his heavy cleaning cart down the beautiful tree-lined path, he felt completely liberated from the toxic chains of superficial fame. Later that evening, he happily volunteered at a local homeless shelter. He served warm soup to people facing truly devastating life circumstances. Sitting across from an elderly homeless man, he listened intently to his tragic story. His eyes reflected incredibly deep and genuine empathy. Washing dirty dishes in the busy shelter kitchen reminded him of his harsh beginnings. But this time, he smiled with genuine joy. The following morning found him working peacefully in a vibrant community garden. He carefully planted small green saplings into the rich soil. A loud group of energetic neighborhood children rushed over to help. He patiently taught them exactly how to plant the tiny seeds. His rough, dirty hands gently covered the fragile seeds with dark soil, working perfectly alongside the small, innocent hands of a child. Wiping heavy sweat from his tired brow, he admired the newly planted garden. This honest creation brought him immense and profound satisfaction. A respectful local journalist approached him quietly, without any flashing cameras. She held a small notebook and asked a deeply meaningful question. Leaning heavily on his wooden shovel, he looked thoughtfully into the bright distance. He finally understood the absolute core of human existence. He remembered standing on glamorous stages, holding heavy golden awards. Despite the deafening applause, he was completely empty and terribly isolated inside. Returning to the beautiful present reality, he looked at the smiling community volunteers. He finally felt a truly genuine connection to humanity. The focused journalist rapidly wrote down his profound words. She was deeply moved by his incredibly sincere and completely unpretentious philosophical answers. The local printing press rolled out a beautiful new story. It detailed his incredible journey from superficial stardom to genuine human redemption. Ordinary people read the inspiring article in quiet coffee shops. They nodded in deep agreement, discussing his amazing transformation with warm smiles. Completely unaware of his newly restored public respect, he continued working hard. He carried heavy delivery packages up incredibly steep apartment stairs. He delivered a large package to a frail elderly woman. Noticing her physical struggle, he kindly helped carry it inside her home. The sweet elderly woman offered him a fresh red apple as a small tip. He accepted the humble gift with immense gratitude. Walking down the sunny street, he bit into the crisp apple. The simple, healthy fruit tasted infinitely better than expensive vintage champagne. His daily life became a beautiful symphony of honest manual labor. Sweeping streets and delivering packages slowly rebuilt his shattered personal dignity. Standing before a clean mirror, he finally recognized the man staring back. He looked incredibly strong, deeply grounded, and completely at peace. He put on his simple blue worker uniform with immense pride. His steady, confident hands buttoned the shirt, ready for another day. He proudly walked into a massive steel factory for his permanent job. The loud industrial machinery represented the beating heart of reality. Operating complex mechanical equipment required absolute focus and intense dedication. He handled the dangerous heavy machinery with complete precision and deep respect. The incredibly tough factory foreman nodded at him with genuine approval. Earning respect through difficult physical labor felt like a massive victory. Wiping dark grease from his sweating face, he smiled confidently at the foreman. The glowing industrial sparks illuminated his completely purified soul. He received his first official factory paycheck in a small envelope. He held the modest paper document like a truly priceless treasure. Walking into the small local bank, he proudly deposited his hard-earned money. The friendly teller greeted him warmly by his name. Stepping out of the quiet bank, he looked up at the endless blue sky. He took a remarkably deep, incredibly refreshing breath. He was no longer a towering god above the ordinary masses. He was simply one working man walking among thousands of others. His sturdy leather work boots struck the hard concrete pavement with absolute certainty. Every single step forward was deeply grounded and purposeful. He stopped to purchase a beautiful bouquet of simple wildflowers from a street vendor. He paid using heavy coins from his pocket. He visited a quiet, modest cemetery to honor his late parents. He gently placed the vibrant wildflowers upon their simple stone monument. Kneeling peacefully by the silent grave, he whispered a gentle prayer. He had finally forgiven himself for his terrible, past, arrogant mistakes. Walking away from the peaceful cemetery, the evening golden hour illuminated his path. The warm light symbolized his completely purified new soul. Returning to his quiet little apartment, he sat peacefully by the open window. He drank warm tea while watching the glowing city. A beautiful butterfly slowly emerged from a dark chrysalis on his windowsill plant. The complete destruction of his ego allowed true rebirth. True human value never comes from artificial fame or massive wealth. It always comes from honest labor, deep resilience, and profound humility. Thank you for watching Vital Life Stories. May you always find your true worth in the simple, honest actions of everyday life.